Welcome to the Field of 68 After Dark's YouTube channel. We are going to be live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time right here on YouTube and on Stadium for the entirety of the spring. Let's talk about some of the X factors in the conference. I think the obvious one is Tyrese Proctor. We can talk about that a little bit. I don't think we have to dive too much into it because people kind of understand. But I have another X factor in this league. I'll be curious to hear your opinion on. But give me your Tyrese Proctor spiel here to start.
Yeah, I mean, listen, just don't build them up. Like, I feel like you put the curse on him last year and all the expectations and everything like that. So we're going to try not to do that this year. I'm going to try to let Tyrese just kind of do his thing. But, I think certainly Tyrese, the way he went out last year too in the NCAA tournament, in the Elite Eight game, he was terrible. So I think hopefully it's going to eat him up here. And hopefully he's going to come back with a little bit more fire. And I do think playing with Cooper Flagg is going to really take some pressure off Tyrese Proctor, because really what Duke was missing in a lot of ways last year was a guy who made people better, made life easier for everybody. That wasn't Jared McCain. Jared McCain is a scorer, right? Tyrese Proctor is more of a scorer than a facilitator. I think with Cooper Flagg, he just makes everybody around him better. He'll take on the pressure because nobody's going to be talking about Tyrese Proctor this year, going into the year. They're going to all be coming in talking to Cooper Flagg. It's Cooper Flagg, this, that, and the other. And Proctor can honestly go into it with a little bit less pressure than he did a year ago. And I think, is he going to be what we thought he was going to be? I don't know if that's ever going to be his personality, but he's going to have a good year this year. And a good year, and Caleb Foster has a good year, and they get some of their other dudes, to play well. Malik Brown, I think, was a good addition for them. Again, I talked about Mason Gillis and Sion James coming over from Tulane.
Sion James is the one, man. It's Sion James, he is the guy that is going to surprise a lot of people. And I don't know if we can call him a breakout player, but he's going to be the guy that surprises a lot of people in the league. My X factor isn't a player. My X factor is a team. I don't think we're talking enough about SMU. I think that there is a lot of talent on that roster. Yeah, they landed Boopy Miller. They have Chuck Harris. They brought Chuck Harris back. And then they have Cario Aquindo, which if you can give me those three in a backcourt, I think that is a lot better than people realize how good that backcourt is. They landed Matt Cross from UMass, who's one of my favorite kind of like glue guy, toughness guys in college basketball. They brought in Johan Traore, who had a nice bounce back year at UC Santa Barbara, was a former top 25 recruit, didn't have a good first season at Auburn, and now is getting another chance at the high major level. And I think if you give me those five with, they got a couple pieces coming back. AJ George is coming in, Jarrell Colbert coming in. I think that there's enough pieces there for them to be somewhere in the middle of the pack of the ACC. And if you're in the middle of the pack of the ACC and you don't do anything dumb in non-conference and you give yourself a shot at knocking off a Duke or North Carolina or somebody at the top of the league, you get them once, you're going to have yourself in a position where you might be able to get into the NCAA tournament. I think that they are close. They're probably an NIT team, but I think they got a tournament chance. And I don't think most people realize that SMU has a tournament chance this year or would even give them credit for it.
Yeah, I think they're an NIT team. There's only one X factor really that we need to talk about, and that's TJ Power. I mean, let's be honest here. He's the only X factor that matters in this whole equation.
All right, so let's get into the biggest storyline. Yeah.
All right, biggest storyline.
No, I was going to say that let's get into the biggest storyline, because to me the biggest storyline outside of Cooper Flagg, and we don't have to go let's save that Cooper Flagg conversation for another time. But to me, the biggest storyline is, does Tony Bennett have the pieces he needs to get Virginia back to the mountaintop?
Yeah, it's a good one. I think that's certainly up there. I mean, for me, it's it's probably still centered around Duke and can Shire get this team, because he's going to have a lot of expectations on him this year with Cooper Flagg, and he knew that recruiting the kid. So I think, can he get them to the Final Four is probably the biggest thing in year 3, because eventually that's what Duke fans want ultimately, right? You're hired there to go to a Final Four. Well, Hubert Davis did it a few years ago, and I think Shire's done a great job in his first 2 years, but that's how you're going to be measured. You're measured by Final Four appearances at a place like Duke, and, this is a year you got the number 1 player in the country. And last year, a top recruiting class didn't carry as much weight for me. but Cooper Flagg is the number one player in a pretty good recruiting class, and a guy that, again, is going to get, so much attention that I think Shire's got to deliver.
Yeah, look, I'll say I don't think that this is a pretty good recruiting class. I think it is just it's fine. Cooper Flagg doesn't matter what recruiting class he was in. He's Cooper Flagg. I get all that stuff with Duke, and also like the North Carolina storyline of RJ Davis coming back for a team All-American. All that stuff is
And
there.
Louisville. Hey, Louisville's a huge
that's
story.
that's exactly where I was going to go with this next. Is like on Louisville's chance to bounce back and get back to being a relevant team in this conference. Just how good could they end up being? Like, what is the ceiling for this group? I'm just going to throw the starting lineup at you, right? If you give me Chucky Hepburn at the 1, you give me I'm blanking on who their 2 would be, but you got Terrence Edwards there, you got Rain Smith there, you got Kayshawn Pryor there, you got Ali Khalifa there, you got your boy James Scott there, you got Javon Hadley there. Like there are a lot of good pieces on this roster and some really talented, proven players. Corin Johnson. There are a lot of guys that have proven it at certain levels. So I think you said you think that they're going to be like a borderline tournament team. I think they're closer to borderline top 25. Like I really like what Kels has built in this first summer.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a big difference between that. A borderline top 25 to a borderline tournament. You could throw a lot of those teams in a hat, from 20 to 45, and they're similar. Let's be honest. So I think, again, what Kels has done, unbelievable. I mean, obviously they've got NIL, which helps, but they've been able to produce. They went early in the portal and often, and it worked, and they had to. So I think Louisville's a huge storyline here as well.
Thanks for watching the Field of 68 After Dark. Make sure to hit that like button.